Hello, everyone. Man, my day's getting long. Hello. For those of you who don't know what's happening, there's a dog. She hasn't been very far from me in the last 24 hours. Hello. Hey, Lane. Turn it this way a bit. Hello, everyone. Familiar surroundings. Such a suck, this one. Just wait for a few more people to come in, and then we'll jump into the recap of my the last 3 weeks, and I got a few ping. All right, all right, down. Dog fur. Alrighty. We got 6 people in here. Oh god. How are we all this morning? Yes, it's almost afternoon, but it's still morning. Oh dear. Still waking up. Can't tell. Massive bags on my eyes, and they're not from my luggage. Hello, hello, hello. So yes, I am back from my holidays. And so, as most of you will know, I went on holiday 3 weeks ago, almost exactly 3 weeks ago. I went to Australian Blade Symposium, which was held on the weekend of the 6th of March, and I was there for the whole weekend doing seminars and stuff like that with some amazing teachers, including Kyle Royer, the Mastersmith, who you guys should all be subscribed to and know everything about already. I took copious amounts of notes, which I plan to be putting into use over the next couple weeks as I build new blades and other stuff. I am super excited to start putting that into effect, despite the fact that I'm yawning. But on top of that, I also won a competition, a sharpening competition, in which we were required to sharpen a knife that had been blunted with a 36 root belt on a belt grinder to as sharp as we possibly could. And we actually had a best sharpness tester, which, if you don't know what a best sharpness tester is and you make knives, you should probably find out, because that's how we measure the sharpness. That's how we quantify sharpness. So we had a best sharpness tester, and we had to sharpen it to the sharpest we possibly could in 5 minutes. And basically everything we had was just junk out of the bin. So there were like old worn out belts, there were worn out pieces of sandpaper, there were also stuff like rocks, there was a rabbit trap, there was like teacups and plates and stuff. There was lots of kind of interesting stuff, but I utilized the theory that I've always clung to and have spoken about on my channel before, which is make a burr, refine the burr, remove the burr, and then refine. and then polish, I should say. Yeah, make a burr, remove the burr, make a burr, refine the burr, remove the burr, polish. And I won this, which is a billet of mosaic, explosion pattern mosaic Damascus, made by Kyle Royer himself, which he made a video on making it before he came out to Australia. It is spectacular. It's only low layer count explosion pattern mosaic. He only made this as kind of a representation to show what the process was. He would normally have four-wayed this another time in order to get a little bit more refined of a pattern, but this is quite a bold pattern, and I really like bold patterns. This is just after a coffee etch at 240 grit, I believe. But it is spectacular, and I reckon it's going to look fantastic once I make a knife out of it, which I will at some point. It has a forge welded piece of 5160 as a tang block, which Kyle and I discussed it, and we're hoping that that's going to hold. He doesn't normally use 5160, but it's all he had lying around at the time, that it was of the right shape. Normally he'd use something like 1084 or something like that, because it welds better. So the weld looks really solid, but if it's going to blow up, it's going to blow up right there. But there's plenty of material here to make a knife out of, even if that does detonate. So here's hoping I can make something cool out of that. So I won that doing sharpening competitions, which should at least evidence that my sharpening theory is good. It was a great fun time. There was some awesome guys there: Mert Tansu, Adam Fromholtz, Sean McIntyre, Michael Massione from Australian Knife Magazine. So many guys. I met so many people, and it's hard to name them all. Kev from Kev's Forge, and there was. I'm trying to remember all the names. Rob French. Jason Allard was there, but we don't talk about him. Anthony Kittle. Anyway, there was a whole bunch of guys, and they were all fantastic to meet, and it was great to be able to put some names to some faces and gain some knowledge. It's funny that whole knowledge to confidence level. I thought I was on the upstroke, but I'm still down the bottom, guys. The symposium really let me know how much I don't know. There's no one there, Shadow. There's no one there. You and I know this. You're barking at shadows. It's funny because you're a shadow. Anyway, while I was away, a few people sent me some packages, which I am uber thankful for. All right, out. Thank you. And first, I would like to say thank you to Yarmez from Island Metal Forge. When he sent over the care package for Seth, he also sent over some stickers for me to put on things. The Island Metal Forge stickers, which is really cool. I'll definitely put one of these on Preston at some point. So thank you, Yarmez. I got them, finally. He's been asking me whether I got them or not. But yeah, I got them while I was away. And they are here. And I did open this package before I left. I literally got it the day before I left, and I was going to message this person to thank them, but I completely forgot. Someone obviously had listened to me talking on the Forgecast about how much I love third files, and happened to have 4 boxes of third chainsaw files. And I believe they're all 13. Oh no, they're different sizes. There's the 4mm, a 4.8, a 5.6, 5.1, and a 6.3 chainsaw file. So various sizes of chainsaw file from third. There are 6 in each box. That's freaking amazing. I'm really looking forward to putting these to use. I'll put them to use in like piercing and shell work and stuff like that. Don't really have a chainsaw to sharpen, but they will be incredibly useful for guard fitting and all kinds of crazy stuff. And that was from Dogbone Knives. who also sent me a sticker, which is also going to go on Preston. So thank you very much, Doggo Knives. Yeah, sorry I didn't tell you that I'd got them before, but I did get them, and I'm super thankful. Thank you so much, dude. I will definitely be putting these to use at some point. But yeah, Third files are my favorite files, and yeah, it's crazy to have. Well, I just dropped one. I think that was one of the small ones. Don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. It's crazy to now have this many little chainsaw files and stuff like that. The quality is just insane. Like, every time I pick up a Third file, I'm reminded of how good the quality is, even in a chainsaw file. So this was a 4.8. 6.3, 5.1, 4.8. So yeah, thank you very much, Doggo Knives. That is very much appreciated, dude. I look forward to using them in the future. And last but not least, I got this box from someone, no idea who, at all. Not an idea. Of course, I have an idea of who sent this to me. But I am very, very honored to be given it. So I took the knife that I made, the one with the blue gold guard and spalted sassafras boil handle, and Hamon 1084 blade. Took that over east with me, and used it to dress out a deer. It did exactly as I intended it to do. You had to use like the hardest core tape on this, Bob. Bob wraps things like I do. For anyone who's ever received a package from me would know exactly what I'm talking about. So this package is from Bob Bew, I'm pretty sure. I haven't confirmed that until I've opened it, but pretty certain that this is from Bob Bew, especially given the unbalanced weight of this thing. And for those of you who follow Bob Bew's channel, B&B Forge, which, let's be honest, you all should be doing. He's a great amateur maker, makes some awesome content with his son. What the hell? Is it like taped from the inside? It is. Jesus. Apparently Bob was intent on me not opening this. You shall not open. Alright. Either that or he intended me to open from like the end or something. Anyway. You don't tell me what to do. You ain't the boss of me. I like the touch of taping it from the inside as well. That's cute. Yes, he sent me the patented green bubble wrap. So, you know, like, I really appreciate it, Bob. It's a great present, man. I'll be using this to wrap all of them for future packages. But yeah, so that's it. Thank you very much. Fine. My joke's on fine. I get it. Yeah, more green bubble wrap. I haven't opened that bit yet. More green bubble wrap. That's awesome. I'm going to use lots of that. He sent me a sticker. B&B Forge. That actually looks pretty badass. I like that sticker. So, another sticker to go on Preston. I'm going to run out of room on Preston. No, so the actual item he sent me is this, which I'm uber excited to have. Oh, it's diagonal. I don't have one of these. Bob sent me a message a while back, and I'd completely forgotten about it, asking me what kind of hammer I would want if someone was going to make me a hammer. And I basically just said, I don't know. I'll take any hammer, but I don't have a straight peen. or a diagonal peen. On order. I don't have one in the works for myself, and I don't have anyone making one for me, which I have a couple of hammers being made for me. And so Bob took it upon himself to make me a diagonal peen hammer. There you go, diagonal peen, square face with octagonalized corners. Very cool. Spiked quillons on the bottom. I like it. Diagonal peens are one of those hammers that I've looked at making and then kind of gone, yeah, that looks like a lot of work. So it's cool that someone took the time to make one for me. Shush. That's enough. And the patented Bob View style handle, which is dyed. This one's dyed green, which is my favorite color. Thanks, Bob. Not that anyone should know that. Pretty sure it's green. It looks green in this light, and I'm going to say it's green because green is cool. I watched the video and I've like completely forgotten everything about it at this point. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. I am a terrible, terrible person. Anyway, so yes, I didn't have a diagonal peen hammer, and now I do, which is very cool. I also have a hammer from another maker, which I love getting tools from other makers, and I'm always willing to do trades for tools and stuff like that. I'm actually trading tools with a couple of other people, and I have something in the works for you, Bob. Then you're not going to be able to see it until you get it. So there, I've got your return address. I think it's on the box. Pretty sure. Maybe. No. Apparently not. Oh no, yeah, it is. Excellent. Mail incoming, Bob. Well, in the next like couple months, because I've got a lot of work to do. But yeah, so that is super awesome. He did actually message me like the day that I flew out saying, ah, crap, I sent you a thing and it hasn't arrived yet and you're over in the eastern states, so you're not going to be able to see it. But yeah, so it's awesome that I have a hammer from a fellow maker, and I look forward to putting it to use. Because one thing I realized recently was that I'd given away a lot of my hammers. I have like 2 hammers left. Even though I'm a guy who makes hammers, I very rarely make hammers for myself. So it was really cool that someone wanted to make a hammer for me, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to putting it to use. I also really like the fact that it's diagonal peen. I'm really interested in using that. I might end up grinding these sharp corners off. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's kind of like apple seed shaped. I might like round those out a little bit, just because I'm worried that if I'm angling it a little bit too much, that's going to dig into my anvil. Sharp corner being what it is, but otherwise, I'm interested to see how that goes. So it's diagonal that way. Yeah, that's going to take some getting used to. I've never used a diagonal peen hammer, so we shall see. But I really like the wide diagonal on that. Nice flat face. Cool. So yeah, I am now back from my holidays. I'm back a week early, as some of you may realize. I was originally going to be gone for a month, but given that COVID-19 has been kicking the butt of the entire universe, it seemed prudent to move my trip forward a week and come home before everything got locked down. Which is a potential problem in the near future for Australians. We will be completely closing down domestic travel completely, so I just said completely twice. Anyway, as the title says, I'm in mandatory isolation because any interdomestic travel as of Tuesday just gone, you are required to do a mandatory 14-day isolation on your own. I'm actually sleeping out here in the lounge room while my wife uses the bedroom because we're not allowed to be in contact because she's essential services, which means she has to go back to work. So she's at work at the moment and I'm here working from home. Yeah. So for the next 14 days, I'm stuck here, which is terrible. You can't imagine how horrible it is. But it basically just means I'm going to be going back to work as usual. I've got some content I want to make. I had a bunch of ideas in the works before I left, and I'm looking forward to putting them into action now. And given that I have nothing to do with my time except stay home, I'm not even allowed to go out to the shops or anything. If I do that, it's a potential $50,000 fine. It'll be good to get some content out for you guys and for my Patreons and all that kind of stuff. As to my Patreons, thank you guys so much for your support over the last couple of weeks. It's been super important to me. Having been away from my workshop and stuff like that and unable to make money, knowing that the Patreon payments coming there has been a massive stress off my back. But now I'm back, I can start making stuff. On another cool note, went deer hunting. It was post deer season. Now we don't actually have paid seasons in Queensland. In New South Wales, for sandbar deer and Victoria, you do have to get a tag, or there is a specific hunting season. I'm not sure if you have to get a tag or not. But in Queensland, they're a pest. Red deer, rusa, and cheetal deer are all pest deer, and you can shoot as many of them as you like any time of the year. But when we say off-season, it was not during the rut, so the deer didn't have antlers. None of the deer had antlers. So we primarily went for does, and we tried to go for does that had already fawned, and the fawns were big enough to take care of themselves. We didn't want to shoot pregnant does, and we didn't want to shoot does which had fawns that couldn't care for themselves. Why can I not see the live chat? I see that someone's put in a live chat. Oh, Jesus, like everyone's here. Hey, Ben! Oh, crap. Okay, for some reason my my chat was not running properly. Just gonna get better. Bryson Alden, Ben Toombs, Evans LeBlanc, Wiley, Bryson, Saber, Dragonstone, Foxron Forge. Oh, you received my package. Excellent. Hey, Dogbone. Thanks for the third files, dude. And thank you, Ben Toombs, for the third files and the sticker, which will be going on Preston. Thank you very much. Yeah, sorry guys, the chat was like not there. I saw Lane's first post and then nothing. And I was like, this is weird. I just thought all of you were just sitting there silently watching me. Anyway, yes, thank you very much, Dogbone. I have your sticker and the third files you sent me. I'll be using those, and the sticker will be going on Preston. Yamez's stickers will be going on Preston, and Bob's sticker will be going on Preston, and I will be using his hammer in the near future, very near future, basically tomorrow, because I'm going to be forging tomorrow. Back on track. While I was hunting in Queensland, we were shooting at does, so we weren't getting any deer with antlers. There were no deals with deer with antlers because we were just post-rut, and they'd all shed their antlers. And unfortunately, the grass was about up to my chin, which is about 5'6", 5'8" tall grass. There was no way we could see sheds. But the groundskeeper, who had invited us up there, had collected sheds from previous seasons and stuff like that. So he had a whole bunch of them resting up, and he gave me 2 of them to cut up. So while I was over there, I cut them up so that I could fit them in my bag. And so now I have a whole bunch of deer antler. Some of it is seasoned, like this stuff is seasoned pretty well. And this stuff still has some living tissue in it, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if it's living tissue or if it's just a discolored tissue. I'm going to season it for a year anyway, if it's got discoloration, because I don't want to risk afraid. I don't want to risk it rotting on the handle. So I have a whole bunch of little pieces and stuff like that I'll be using on handles in the future. Yeah, third flat file. Third flat file. Say that 3 times fast. Would be awesome. I'm looking forward to expanding my third collection. But the chainsaw files are going to be very useful for a lot of the detail work that I do, and I'm planning on doing some sculpting and stuff in guards, and that will be incredibly handy. You're at ground level. Fair enough. Perth seems to be ground zero for a lot of the coronavirus stuff at the moment, so yeah, lockdown is a thing. I also kept the casing from the first ever deer that I shot, the only deer that I shot. It's a 303 Enfield, 303 British Enfield casing from a number 4 Mark II Lee Enfield original, which is one of my favorite rifles of all time. The number 4 specifically, not just the Mark II, the Mark 1, Mark 3. Not much of a fan of the number 5, which is basically just a number 4, which has had the stock cut off it, which is what they call the jungle carbine. Hey, Paul Wheeler, how you going? But yeah, so lots of cool stuff coming. Like I said, I have that piece of steel from Kyle Royer that will be getting made into something at some point. Hey, Danny. I also was going to start a project while I was over there out of this piece of bearing case, which is actually a custom commission, but that will be done here, which is much better because I have all of my tools here, and my tools are better than what I had over there. Basically had one set of tongs and a hammer, and a really crappy hammer, and a really crappy anvil, and a forge that didn't heat up properly. Over here I've got my own gear so I can get some work done. I have a whole bunch of back orders. Yeah, Bryson, nah. Number 4 looks pretty fierce with a bayonet too, and you can extend your reach a little bit because number 4 has a longer barrel. Two yellow tails. Yeah, third files are some of the hardest files on the market, and they're also some of the best quality. So when I opened the package and saw that I'd got a whole bunch of third files, I was like, holy shit, yes, this is awesome. And that's Dogbone Custom Knives, which again, this will be going on Preston today. I'll go put it out there. Funnily enough, the weather is actually worse here than it is in Queensland. In Queensland, the humidity is actually lower than it is over here in WA. It is disgusting out there right now. I was hoping that when I got back from my holidays, the weather was going to be better, but it's actually worse. So, yeah, I'm not too happy about that. But, yeah, that being said, it was good fun. You're allowed to stay here without your dad. Not sure what you mean, Fox Run. But unless you're talking about Mike, is Mike not there? But yeah, so it was a fantastic holiday. I had a great time, but I'm actually glad to be home. Holy shit! Stop messaging me. Okay, not that I don't want people messaging me. It's just right now. Yeah, so lots of projects coming up. What the hell is in my mouth? That's what she said. Ah, you're Mike's son. Okay, well, no, you're fine to. You're fine to stick around. That is totally fine. We do occasionally cuss on this channel. Well, on live streams, not on my main videos. What I learned at the Symposium. Yes, maybe. So Symposium, what I learned at Symposium is interesting because there's kind of a tacit agreement when you go to a Symposium that you're not going to share directly what you learned, because people are paying for it. Like, it's a relatively expensive experience to go to Symposium, well worth the price. But because you're paying for the instruction, kind of sharing that information to people for free is kind of a faux pas, if you like. Now, that being said, I'm going to be making stuff using the techniques that I've been taught at Symposium anyway. Um, so there's a good chance that you'll just see them in action as I go. And I don't think, well, we weren't required to sign anything that said, no, I will not share these kind of information when I go home. But I'm not sure if I'll make a video specifically about it. Yeah, I hope Mike's okay. He did tell me that he didn't have long. I'm glad that the box got to him. So let us know how that's going. I wasn't very happy to hear that, unfortunately. Oh no, it was definitely a paid thing. Yeah, no, you paid for the weekend. It's paid seminars, and all of the guys that did the instruction were paid to do it. So, it's like you pay to go to a class, but you get to pay to go to 8 classes over the weekend instead of just paying to go to 1, and the combined price is actually quite. Oh. Sorry to hear that. Didn't make it in time, I imagine. Yeah, that sucks. Mike did tell me that he had been given a short prognosis. You're not an ass, Ben. That's cool, man. You didn't know. But Mike did say that he'd been given a pretty short time left when I sent him that box. So I'm really sorry to hear that he didn't get to get it. That sucks. Well, I hope you put to use what I sent. If you're into knife making. If you're not into knife making, that's cool. But if you're into knife making, then please make use of what I sent. Because Mike would have. Yeah, I like the anvil stand, Andy. When I saw it, I wasn't sure if I was like, oh shit, I should have told him that I'm not going to use that for that anymore, but whatever. Now I have a second anvil stand. It's great. I was going to message you after this live stream to let you know to call me so that we could, talk about what's been going on around the house, because obviously you've done a lot of work, dude. Thank you so much. For those of you who don't know, Andrew is a good friend of mine who occasionally comes over and hangs out with me, and he seems to feel the need to organize my life for me, which is very much appreciated because I am terrible at organization, and he did a whole bunch of stuff while I was away, and it's fantastic. Yeah, no, it's all good, Andy. I'll talk to you about it when I'm off stream, which will be very soon because I wanted to leave this relatively short. Well, that didn't take the turn that I was hoping to, and everyone's dying right now. Anyway. Well, that's good, Fox Run, and I hope you carry it on. Yeah, I hope you make use of it. And if you ever need any advice, please feel free to message me or anyone else in this crew. I'm sure they'd be willing to help you out with advice or even instruction if you live close enough to any of them. Obviously, me being in Australia is not going to help you much, but I'm always willing to give you some give you some advice. But yeah, I will be getting back to work as of tomorrow. I'm kind of taking today to get back used to being back in WA and just get my head on straight again, get everything worked out, try and work out where things are in the shop now, because I've forgotten, and get myself set up. But then I've got a lot of custom commissions to do, and I want to do content surrounding that kind of stuff as well. I've got a couple of videos that I want to make on some Fury stuff. So yeah, lots of stuff coming. With that being said, again, condolences to you and Mrs. Gunnels about Mike's passing. That's terrible news. And I hope that everyone has a fantastic day. Stay safe, stay indoors, wash your bloody hands, and hopefully this whole thing will get on over, and everything will go back to some form of normalcy in the next 6 to 8 months. But until then, I will see you on Wednesday. I'm not doing a live stream this weekend, but I will see you on Wednesday with a new video. Cheers, guys.